Hey everyone, back again. 4:20 on a Wednesday. Haven't done this in a while, but I figured, hey, why not? I'm just gonna go through some comics that I've read over the last couple weeks or so, maybe more, and maybe open some boxes. I don't know, but I'm gonna do this till 5 o'clock, so I got a good 40 minutes. All right, so the first one. Decided to read this Elementals, right? Elementals number 4. I've been getting a whole bunch of these um, on the cheap, 50 cents and whatnot. They're from the 80s, and the story was pretty good. It's by Bill Willingham, and Jack Herman does the script. And it's pretty much an origin story of the main villain, which is Lord Saker. And I guess what happened prior to issue 4 was that the elementals lost this big battle, and so a lot of them are captured by this guy, Lord Saker here. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool origin story. He's been alive due to a curse for 2,000 years, and it's pretty much about world domination. And it's very convincing. It's written really well. I had no problem jumping in on issue 4. That's what I try to do. I try to read these things and pretend it's issue 1. Hey Tony, what's going on, dude? Thanks for saying hi, buddy. Decided to do this. I'll be on till about 5 o'clock or whatever. But yeah, man, thanks for being here. The next one I'll go over here is Nexus: The Origin. I think it's from 1994, and I got this for $1, and it's beautiful. It's like in mint condition. I can't believe I got this for $1. And it's obviously over 30 years old. And I've been buying these Nexus books for the art, and it occurred to me, well, I better start reading them. Steve Rude does the art, and it's a pretty cool origin story. Apparently, there was this conquering race subjugating another planet, and there was this guy who was a younger guy who oversaw a part of it, and look at that. He ended up marrying a native woman, but the natives became restless and started taking their world back. And so this young guy, his name was Hell Pop. Hell Pop, right? Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't know if you're referring to Elementals or Nexus, but yeah, what I'm trying to do is I might have to jump onto YouTube really quick and see if I could start making people admins or whatever. Let's see if I could pull that off. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work because it's going to be a double thing here. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work because it's going to be a double. No, it's not going to work. Thing here. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work because it's going to be a double. No, it's not going to work. Thing here. All right. So I made Jeff the moderator there. So sorry about that, you guys. I have no clue how to do it from Yardstream. So what's up, Jeff? Yeah, Nexus, bro. Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty good. So what happens is, this guy flees the planet that was in charge of it, and he had orders to just nuke the planet because they couldn't hold on to the planet, and he couldn't live with himself, so he was just gonna thrust himself and his newlywed into a black hole, right? But that didn't happen because some strange vessel tractor beams them in, and then they're stuck on this vessel, and they give birth to a child, and that child happens to be what later becomes Nexus. He loses his mother, and Nexus, he has dreams of people who are mass murderers, and he goes after them and kills them. So he ended up killing his dad. So that's spoilers on Nexus. But it's a beautiful comic. I can't believe I got this. I mean, back in 1994, this was $4, you know, and I got it for $1. So, and it's like in mint condition. So the next one I'll go over here. Hey Jeff, you're a moderator now. That was the only way I could get. I got to figure out how to do the moderators, how to do it from StreamYard. If you guys know how to do that, please let me know. I was looking it up today and it wasn't working out. I couldn't get the information. So Avengers Twilight by Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna. Acuna is a really good artist. This just is coming out this year. And I remember him from Uncanny. I remember the artist from Uncanny X-Force. And I didn't really like it so much. I thought it was okay when he was working with Rick Remender. But it's like his style has solidified somehow. It's not as abstract as it once was. You could clearly make out what's happening. I bet if I look back at his early work, I'll like it. But this is really good. And it's about, it's a current comic that's out now. So probably a lot of you guys are reading it. You should be. I like Chip Zdarsky. He's really cool. And right now, of course, what's happening is that society is, there was a terrible day called like H Day, right? It was Hero Day or whatever. And a lot of the Marvel heroes died at that day. And so they turned over the heroes to like an Avengers group that was all strictly like Iron Man armor. But that ended up becoming like some kind of weird fascist regime or whatever. And so even Steve Rogers, he's the main character, Captain America, and it's pretty good. He had to re-inject himself with a soldier serum. Yeah, sorry about the echo. I was just trying to figure out how to do it because last time I did this, people were like, yeah, you need some admins. And I don't know how to do that with Yardstream yet. Maybe I should not even use Yardstream. Okay, the question number 2 by Dennis O'Neill and Denny Conway. And this was pretty good. I felt kind of cheated because in the first issue, Question gets his butt handed to him, and he gets dropped into a bay by this woman, Lady Shiva, who is working for a different criminal organization. But she ends up retrieving him secretly, and it's this weird thing about his mask, and somehow his mask prevented a fatal bullet shot to the head. And he doesn't know if Batman paid him a visit. Batman, of course, is chastising him like he chastises everyone, right? But it's done in a really convincing manner, and the question's on the mend. And so far, it's okay. I'm going to keep reading it, but I was hoping for more of like a mysterious detective work. But maybe he gets into that, but he doesn't. He seems more like a hard-boiled, like vigilante cop than he does a detective. if you know what I mean. So I gathered that the original question was more of a detective. So the next one is Batman and Superman, World's Finest 23. This is another newer one. It has spectacular Dan Mora art in it. And this is new too, so people are totally getting into this and praising it. I like it. I love the plot points. I love the art. However, I really love Mark Waid, but this story seems too rushed. And a lot of the developments, like Magog turning on Gog and things like that, they don't seem very earned, you know. And I don't know. And by the end of it, Dark Side's here, and I think it's cool because it's based on Kingdom Come, and Kingdom Come ties into the Kirby, New Genesis and Apocalypse and all of that stuff. And so, Gog wants to wage war on Apocalypse because Gog's from the original world before it split in two and became two worlds, right? The New Genesis and Apocalypse. But I don't know. I wish they took their time with it and they just like stretched it out more, Yeah, Chip Zdarsky, I've been reading him since Marvel 2-in-1, and some of that spectacular from like 5 years ago. And he keeps getting better. His Batman is uneven. I had to stop reading Batman even though I collect it. And the first failsafe arc was awesome, but I got kind of lost in when Batman was stuck in the multiverse and all that stuff. So I want to go back and reread that. And I'm not really that interested in Joker Year One. Hey, greetings, C. Woodard. Yeah, been reading The World's Finest on DC app. Have enjoyed the first 2 volumes so far. Yeah, I think that it was paced well when it started a couple years ago, and Mark Waid wasn't doing that much DC work, but now he's kind of spreading himself a little bit. I can't complain because it's probably one of the better titles out right now. Although DC, I hear, is getting good, but I just won't spend money on the new comics coming out when I could get them a year later for half the price or even $1. Kenneth Bird saying hi to everyone. Hi, Kenneth. Thanks for being here, my friend. Thanks to everyone who's here. Thanks, C. Warward 19. Really appreciate you. Bottom tier, what's happening, bro? Yeah, well, I'm surprised that he's not already considered the one of the superstar writers. I like DC because they snatch up the up and coming writers, And I want to get on to the next the next one. So next one is Doom 2099, 1993. This is issue number 9. And this is really cool. Ernie Chan art. So what's happening in this issue is Dr. Doom has been thrusted into 2099, and he still doesn't remember how he got there, what happened, and he had to take on the despot that was ruling Latveria, and he was been successful in that. But he still hasn't. Look at this art. He still hasn't figured out how he got there, and so he's in this computer construct, and he feels like the information's in the construct or the virtual reality. Actually, this was made in the 90s, so virtual reality was envisioned to look a little different. Cyberspace. See now, okay, so modern day virtual reality and cyberspace are 2 different things. Cyberspace, I guess, the environment, you can have, the more knowledge you have about the programs, the more power you have, right? And it's not just this one computer program overseeing the universe or whatever. So he feels like his answers lie in the cyberspace, and he's speaking to like Jack the Ripper and Moriarty or whatever his name is, the Sherlock Holmes fame, that antagonist there, and Frankenstein's monster and all this stuff. It's pretty good. I liked it. It's cool. All right, let's say hi to people. Yo, Mike, what's going on, bro? Thanks for being here. Love you, man. Yeah, the life story was great. Each issue of Life Story took on about 10-year period of Peter's life, from as if a continuity was in sync with real life. So, you know, instead of 40 years of someone being 20 years old, you have Peter being, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50. It was pretty good. I liked it. Okay, the next one was Justice League Last Ride. Was okay. I got out of that one. I read the first one, and for some reason it didn't pull me in, but I should probably check that out. Okay, here's an old school comic from the 80s, Kitchen Sink Comics, Death Rattle. Okay, let me put a smaller ticker on here. And the first story was really good because, but it wasn't my favorite one. It was good. It was about a curse. It had that snappy like humor, you know, and it's old. Well, it wasn't taken care of. I got this for 50 cents, but I love comics from the 80s, even if they're falling apart. And maybe I'll find this in higher grades someday. Kitchen Sink Press is cool. So yeah, it was about how these items were cursed. The story of the people who inherited these items from a guy who was killed by being overthrown from a boat, because they blamed him for the storm. And of course, he gets his revenge, and anyone who touches those items die and stuff. So it's pretty good. But the one I really liked was this Bolto, the Cosmic Slug. So this was probably a real Native American myth. Maybe that's knowledge of that isn't my forte, but it sounds familiar to me, in which there was a woodpecker who decided to create man and start doing it in wood, but in the meantime there was this dung beetle that took buffalo dung and put the seed of man in it, and couldn't crack the it took so long for man to come out of this dung that it took the woodpecker's beak. After many tries of different ways of breaking it, the woodpecker's beak is what broke the core. Anyway, so you have this indigenous guy who's like, screw this myth. Who the hell do they think we are, believing in this stuff? So he decides to plant his own dung beetle seed in the ground, and when he went to retrieve it, of course, it ended up being some larvae, right? And he was like, and he cursed it, and he was all mad. And then suddenly this cosmic slug thing shows up one day. And he's like, oh my God. The cover's coming off. But so he follows it, and the slug leaves this slime trail, and he ends up putting his hand in the slug filth, the trail, and he couldn't get it out. And he's begging the gods that he knows, to help free him. And the gods, of course, don't come. So he assumes that that this is the new god. And so he cuts his hand. He cuts it, and he's the new messenger now. I am Zoltul. I am his messenger of the new god, right? So it was pretty cool. This one was cool too. This is about there was some alien presence in the army, or some kind of military unit was coming in, and they were stuck underground for years. And they thought they beat it, but they didn't. So it's really, I just destroyed this comic showing it to you guys. I destroyed it even further, man. I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. Okay, so here we go. Everyone's saying hi to each other. The accidental moderator. I don't know what it means, but I enjoy this mysterious power of the wrench. I want to do more wrench, blue wrenches, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe let's see here. See if I can get Mike, if it'll work. No, I can't do it from Yardstream for some reason. That sucks because I want my main man Mike as the moderator. And classmates. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm definitely not a tech guy. I'm on the freaking laptop a lot though. Yeah, this it's normally math. No, his last name's Broderick, and I really like his psychedelic imagery in Doom 2099. But Ernie Chan takes on this one issue, and it's really good. So yeah, man, it's cool. Yeah, I love, dude. You can get this stuff on the cheap, man. Nobody cares anymore about the indies from the '80s, where it's totally story driven. Nobody cares about it anymore. Unfortunately, I shouldn't say nobody. I'm finding a lot of my friends who are actually into it. Yo, Alberto Swab, what's happening, man? Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you, Jacob. So if you guys could figure out, maybe next time I'll just try to do the stream on YouTube, and then I'll make all my regular guys the blue wrench. But right now, Jeff, Library 88 is the blue wrench master. Yeah, Pat Broderick did that. Yeah. And Doom 2099 is awesome. I love it. Love it so far. All right, so next one up is John Sable, number 3, back in the early 80s. This is his origin story, which is really cool. So he meets the love of his life in South Africa. They were both competing in the Olympics. And what is it called? Pentathlon. That's when you do 5 different things. And so he's like the 4th. He doesn't win, and she doesn't win either. So they're kind of like washed up a little bit, and they fall in love. And but he decides to. He always wanted to be a hunter in South Africa, and so he decides to become a game marshal, or work for the department, because there's a lot of poaching for elephant husks and stuff like that, for the ivory and whatnot. And it's a really big criminal enterprise, right? So yeah, it's a tragic ending here. This is why John Sable is a hardened vigilante. Should I spoil it for you guys? You might be able to see the writing on the wall. I didn't even know what a sable was. Apparently, sable is like I don't want to say a deer. I want to say a different word than deer, but it's that with big husks. I mean, big horns. All right, let me catch up here. Thanks for sticking with me here, you guys. Hey, HAO, thank you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate everyone just shows up watching me babble. I love it. What do I got here? I got 15 minutes. This is Steeple number 2, The Adventures of her last name's Baker. Give me a break. I forgot what her name is. Anyway, she's a Christian working for a priest who is fighting off these monsters of the sea. The art's okay, but she has a satanic friend named Maggie. So in this issue, she manages to convince the priest that the sea monsters are, it's Billy Baker's her name. that they're beings too, you know, and that he shouldn't be trying to kill them just because one's looking for an offspring or something like that. But anyway, she finally gets to visit her satanic friend, and she can't believe how much blood is there, and so she was open-minded a little bit. But I guess they all team together and they fight off someone else, not in my backyard or whatever. So it's kind of goofy, but I like it. I guess they're fighting off some environmentalists or something. They have like windmills they want to set up in their backyard or something like that. And here's the variant cover. Okay, Fantastic Four Annual. Number 17. I'm slowly rereading John Byrne's Fantastic Four. And this one was kind of interesting. Of course, I love the art, but it did manage to stay on the this character. There was no Fantastic Four for half the book, and she's a lead singer in a group called the Rolling Dead or something like that. And her car breaks down and she ends up going into this weird, like, I don't know if she thinks it's a dairy farm, but it ends up being the story ends up being a continuation of a classic Fantastic Four issue in which Reed stops some Skrulls and turns them into cows. And so the people of in this area have been mutating due to the cow milk. It was like Skrull milk or something, but it was pretty good. I liked it. So yeah, Fantastic Four 17, annual 17. Here's Planetary number 3. I like Warren Ellis, John Cassidy. I'm rereading these. I read about the first 10. I felt like I was moving over it a little too much. This takes place in Tokyo, in which there's a ghost who's like a cop. He's a vengeance ghost. And everything passes through him except for his bullets, right? So it's pretty cool. And the Planetary is Elijah Snow, Hakita Wagner, and the drummer. And the drummer taps on the ground to acquire information. And so far, it's been pretty vague about that. But some weird, like, construct pops up. This, like, weird, like, building construct. And he's able to get information from that. I don't know. It was really good. I liked it. And they read like modern books, but somehow these comics from like 2000, they feel more like cinematic. They feel like they're somehow more engaging, and they leave a little more to the imagination, and it's less sappy. It's not like a lot of modern comics books. They really lean into the emotion, the drama, Okay. Hack. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, I'm still relatively new. I've been streaming not that long, and I've been on YouTube for maybe a year. So yeah, he's like a spirit of vengeance in Tokyo. Okay, so RoboCop number 1 from 1994. I like the art more than anything. I like Lobo, but sometimes it's way over the top. Eamon, right? Yeah, Martin Eamon does the art, and it's really cool. And of course, it's just them spoofing on RoboCop. Instead of dude dying in the line of duty, Lobo ends up drinking himself and partying himself near to death. and it's kind of funny. I don't know if it's for me, but I definitely the shock humor, right? It's definitely cool. It was good. I'm glad I got it. Oh, it has this disclaimer from DC that they don't have the rights to this. I'll go frag. So it's pretty cool. All right, got 10 minutes. I'm getting there, you guys. I'm totally getting there. Okay, so this one's Epic. This is actually Marvel, but Marvel being indie. Epic number 6, and oh my God, the Flint Henry art in this was amazing. I don't know much about Law Dog, but it's so freaking awesome. This guy is like traveling through like dimensional constructs, trying to find the woman that he promised that he would come back to. And it's freaking super action packed. The art is off the freaking hook. Yeah, Flint Henry does the art on this. And now this is good 90s art to me. This is just really something else. And so he finally gets to the girl. The characters are really good. This is by Alan Grant. It was just very, very awesome. So if you guys see this on the cheap, it's totally worth it. The characters were convincing. They all had their own motivations. They're all disgruntled. They know they're in a construct. They capture Law Dog and they try dissecting him because they don't understand why he's not affected by the construct as much. In this world, I guess there's some kind of weird virus happening. But look at this, man. It's just page after page of good art. So I don't care what condition these Law Dogs are in. If I see Law Dog, I'm definitely doing it. And then, so now here we have Ultimate Black Panther, number 1. And I read Law Dog in that order, and so I go from that to this, which I get these things in the mail from my comic shop, so I'm behind everybody. The story was kind of boring, I'm sure the next one was good, but this sets up a lot, I guess. But it's more drama, they don't agree with how they should proceed in the beginning of this war and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't know. You go from the last comic to this, you guys. That's why I don't like modern comics for a lot of reasons. I shouldn't say that because I do still like a lot of artists and I still try to get into it. But I wouldn't give this an F. I would just give it a meh. Like, I'm sure it's set up to be something great. I loved Ultimate Spider-Man, the new Ultimate Spider-Man. But that one, not so much. Not compared to the 50-cent comics I've been finding. Here's American Flag, number 4. That is Reuben Flagg. It's the year 2031. America moved to Mars for some reason. This was a little more difficult for me to get into because it had its own lingo, but I felt really good about it. His boss wanted him to go to South America to protect a basketball team or something like that. So it's definitely like some political satire, but there's a lot of action in it. And, I love Howard Chaykin's art. There's something about his art where you get the cartoon, but also the grit. And someone tries taking over their vessel they're in. And so Reuben thwarts that. So I liked it. First, after this is an early first issue, but they used to have the "Who Are These Guys Anyway" over here, and it would be like a really snappy, awesome introduction to what, so you could just move right into each issue, no problem. But yeah, so that's that, and I'll land on classic X-Men, unless I decide to open a box or two. I might do that. I don't know. This is actually X-Men 112, but it's classic X-Men 18. And of course, there's a backup story, which was okay. I was really confused by this backup story. I normally love these backup stories. But anyway, it's great classic John Byrne art in which they were just mind controlled by Mesmero. That's not John Byrne, that's someone else. And they were forced into or they were brainwashed into being part of a circus. And I thought when I read it at the end, because Magneto makes his appearance, that Magneto was behind it all. But no, Magneto just followed Beast there and just dispensed of Mesmero. But what happens is that they're in this circus trailer, and Nightcrawler wants to bath out of there, but they're actually out in low Earth orbit. So you have the circus trailer, zooming around almost in space, compliments of Magneto, and he brings them to his fortress, which is in Antarctica, which is powered by the Earth's core. And there's a major throwdown, and it was actually really good. He takes everyone out, even Phoenix, but I guess Phoenix has her powers as their newly acquired powers. So in this issue, even she succumbed to Magneto. Now, and so I guess Magneto was turned into a baby at some point and was out of the storyline for a while, and he's really pissed about that Xavier had something to do with that. So he ends up strapping all these X-Men plus Beast, but Beast was an Avenger at this time, and have them just stuck there, not being able to use their powers like a baby or something like that. But anyway, check this out. So Jean wanted to get away because she just got the Phoenix Force, and she's ultra powerful. Everyone knows about that. But in this storyline, her friends come to find her, and Wolverine decides to stalk her with a knife. What's up with that? And he went into animal instinct mode, so she couldn't read him coming. But why would he do that? Just to see how tough she was? I mean, what if he got her with a knife? Anyway, it was okay. I normally love these backup stories, but this one was okay. But the main story was great. Cool, you guys. I'm my Blogspot. I'm putting all my comics on Blogspot, and it might take about a month or two, but then I'll be able. You guys can see what I have, and we'll trade, because I just like reading comics, and I have lots of doubles, and I'll even send stuff out that I don't even have doubles of. So yeah, it's inspired by Rob, Cheap Comic Collector. Yeah, no, you like Lobo, man. That's pretty cool. I like Lobo too. I like the early Lobo with the Justice League International. And J.M. DeMatteis was just interviewed by Gray Man's group. If you guys haven't seen that, it just happened today. I managed to jump onto that stream. But yeah, J.M. DeMatteis, dude. Dude's like a regular bro. It's awesome. I have a feeling they'll bring back Lobo someday for sure. Dude, yeah, Law Dog was freaking nuts, man. Law Dog, I have another issue I want to read too, but some of these 50-cent scores are just I'm just laughing to myself. I'm saving so much money, and my collection has grown twice the amount now. Yeah, Law Dog on the list, dude. So next time, Mike, I'll stream from YouTube so I could do all the blue wrenches, you know? I've been buying I guess for the first appearances and stuff like that. I like Jonathan Hickman, therefore I'm following Ultimate Spider-Man. I even up to his latest X-Men, he did great. It's just like the X Office started doing things he didn't want done, and I don't know what happened there. They didn't really get into it. Yeah, Tony, older is better, man. For sure, dude. I love these older comics. But speaking of new comics, I did just receive this in the mail today. Just to give you guys an idea of the new stuff I get from my shop. Here's Jonathan Hickman, God's number 5, which I enjoy. He's kind of redefining the magical universe of Marvel, so some people are not going to like that. But I read the first 3. I'm going to reread it. Here's another World's Finest, right? So I'm hoping. I just wish that they made that this last story arc more of an event. Here's the Batman, the Joker, right? Year 1, which I have not read, which I will read. Here is stuff I grew up on, a facsimile. You guys all know about the first appearance of the Rose. I guess that's a big deal now. It wasn't for the longest time. Here's the Vengeance of the Moon Knight. I do like Jed McKay and this Cappuccino or whatever art. It's a great combo. If you guys haven't read the latest Moon Knight, I suggest it for newer comics. It's actually pretty good. Here's another Batman, Joker, Year 1. I don't know. I'm just not interested in it, but I will read it. Ooh, here's my Ultimate Spider-Man number 2. I haven't read that. So I'm behind everybody, you know. Sometimes LCSs are like 40 minutes away, local comic shops. They're 40 minutes away. And so I don't go driving out there every week. Here's book 3 of Avengers Twilight, which I am very much enjoying. Here's Detective Comics 1082. I stopped reading and I'm enjoying this, but I want to start from the beginning and give it a really good read. I love Ram V in that. Here's another incredible CGC candidate. Well, I don't do CGC, but I get it, you guys. It's cool. And here's another Batman. I guess this one's good because Jimenez is back. And here's another reprint. Fucking awesome cover. So yeah, I'm going over, but I thought I'd just do that. And this box here, I got materials to remove the filthy 50 centers, right? Because you could use this as like a putty. I got some syringes or whatever. I don't even know if I'm ever going to do this though, because it takes time. And here you could use this little scraper. You could scrape labels off. And here's the little cotton balls or whatever. All right, you guys. You know, there's a method to take off labels. I'm still waiting for the main stuff to come in. I'll say goodbye to everyone now. Dude, you are? That's great. That's great. Yeah. Hit me up, dude. I got a lot of doubles. I've been getting these things for 50 cents. So let me know. Yeah. I was thinking about flipping the first Ultimate Spider-Man, but I'll just hold on to it. Oh, you have 20 copies of it? Cool. Yeah. I'm rereading. As you know, I'm still in the 70s, going into the 80s, but I plan on rereading the Chris Claremont to about the 80s or so, just to refresh my memory. I loved them when I was a kid. Yeah, trade it. Yeah, I can't wait to start my trading program. So stay tuned for that, you guys. I'll have a blog spot, simple instructions, and I've got all kinds of doubles, and plus I just want to let go of stuff and whatever. I'm inspired by, like I said, by Rob, Cheap Comic Collector. Yeah, it was a good stream. I caught some of it too. That JM DeMatteis stream. He wrote some awesome stuff. I love it. Okay, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I went I went 5 minutes over, almost 10. I know I don't normally do that, but it's been a while, and I just want to say thanks to everyone for being here. Yeah, it's going to be set up by email. Whoever emails me first, and so we can propose. And I'm not going to be so strict about that. I'll trade with Canadian. Depends on how we do it. So it's obviously the shipping is more costly, but I'm open to what the person's suggesting, and of course I'll say yay or nay, right? All right, Mr. Blue Wrench. Next time I'll try just YouTube and see what happens, and so I could get more moderators. Take care, everyone. Thanks for being here, Mike. All right, adios. Thanks for joining me. Later.